Finally, we're joined by Martin Holland, the Executive Chairman and MD of Cobre Limited, with the ticker code CBE, to tell us more about their copper exploration in Botswana and their recent outstanding drill results. Martin is joining us. Well, Martin, firstly, congratulations on the new copper discovery in Botswana. Can you tell us a little bit more about the scale opportunity here?
Yeah, sure, James. So this is going to be like a short and sweet presentation. I'm going to be talking at Africa Down Under on Tuesday next week, and there'll be a new presentation that comes out to the market. So this will just be a high-level sort of understanding on the new discovery that's happened in Botswana at the moment. So to answer your question, in regards to scale and the opportunity, you're talking 8,000 square kilometres of the Kalahari Copper Belt, which has been regarded by the US Geological Survey as the #1 belt in the world to explore for sedimentary hosted copper deposits. So we've got a very solid holding there. And our neighbours, there's two neighbours, one being Sandfire that's going into production next year, and also Cupric that's already in production. So you've got two giant companies, which is adjacent to the new discovery that Cobre has made.
And just on that then, so you've recently announced some outstanding copper intersections of the project. So can you tell us a little bit more about these results?
Yeah, sure. So there was a terra-leach soil anomaly above the surface, and that was the tool and the vectoring that we did to target in on this new discovery. The first hole we drilled was 1 kilometre away from the old historical hole, which showed around 1.8% copper. We stepped out 1 kilometre. We hit quite a thick intersection of copper mineralisation. We then stepped out a second hole, another kilometre to the southwest. We hit the intersection again over quite a thick interval. We stepped out another kilometre. So I should probably highlight here, we're actually exploring like the same way that BHP would explore as a junior. So quite large step outs. And then we hit it again, quite thick mineralisation again, and showing quite high grade copper on the XRF results that we've done. After those 3 step outs to the southwest, we decided to go 1 kilometre to the northeast, and we hit it again, which we announced to the market. So now we have a 4 kilometre strike of copper mineralisation that in the Kalahari Copper Belt, some of the largest deposits in the area are roughly on a 4 kilometre strike, such as Zone 5. And Zone 5 is 92 million tonnes at 2.2% copper.
And so just on the exploration program, so can you tell us a little bit more about what's currently underway, what it aims to achieve, and when we can expect more results?
Sure. So we're currently drilling at the moment. The rig is currently on hole 5 at present. This hole that we're drilling is a 70-metre step back from one of the centre holes that we drill. And the reason that we're doing this is to understand the width and the lateral extent of the deposit. So this will give the market a really clear understanding on the size from a width and lateral perspective. After this, we will move towards infill drilling, which will be 500-metre spacings. And then after that, we move towards 250-metre spacings. We're aligned with a company called Mitchell's Drilling, which is an international drilling company. They recently participated in the raise themselves at $300,000 US. The majority of their rigs are actually on site at Sandfire and Cupric Canyon. So they've got 26 rigs in country. Having them aligned with us is helpful. So we're going to be getting like an additional rig shortly and multiple more as we drill this out.
Well, you just partly answered my next question, but so you've recently raised $7 million through a placement to both domestic and international funds. So in addition to the drilling company, who else has come in, and what would the funds raised be used for?
Yeah, sure. So there was $7 million raised and an additional, as I said, around 300,000 US on top of that from the drillers. We got international investors. It has been announced in the top 20 that we got Commodity Discovery as our 3rd largest shareholder now, which is a very well-known company in discoveries. We have Metal Tiger as well, which is our largest shareholder, which is a resource fund that put in around $1.5 million. So it's heavily supported by the current existing shareholders and also new shareholders that came in. I'll probably touch on as well, just in regards to further exploration that we're doing. It's probably worth noting that we have a 500-kilometre strike here in the Kalahari Copper Belt. And this is the first target that we've drilled out of 57 that we've identified. So like you've seen in Zone 5, there is 92 million tonnes in one area, but they also have 4 other areas that are between 20 and 40 million tonnes separately. So what we're trying to achieve here is we've got a tool that we're using that's proven to be successful to actually vector in on these targets. But we have 57 other areas that we're looking at advancing. We've just commenced a 7,000 a sample program to look at vectoring into new targets. So in parallel of proving up this deposit, we're going to be vectoring in and scout drilling on other targets throughout the 500-kilometre strike that we have in the Kalahari Copper Belt.
Thanks, Marty. A few more coming through. So maybe some you might be able to answer, but with Sandfire and other majors operating in the area, have you had anybody reach out to you off the back of the drilling success?
Well, unfortunately, that's completely confidential.
Yes, I thought so. Very cheeky webinar attendee here. Another one's popped up. So there's 4 kilometers of strike, which is amazing. How does this compare to Sandfire's strike?
Yeah, so Sandfire's deposit is slightly different to this. So the big tree that they're looking at, this is more like a zone 5. But the strike length on Sandfire, I don't know exactly, it's probably like a few kilometers long. But I think investors should really look at zone 5 as a comparison to what we've found here. And you can go onto the website and have a look at that.
Martin, just a few questions on the team. So we understand that you have a new team on the ground, found the Kamoa deposit. So can you give us a little bit more background on the team that you've got in country? Yeah,
so Dr. Ross McGowan, he got the Lindsay Award for the discovery of Kamoa, which is the largest copper discovery pretty much in Africa. That's what's owned by Ivanhoe, which is our $10 billion plus company. So he's on our team. We also have a person by the name of Adam Woolridge, who's the in-country CEO, who's been involved in this belt for a long time. David Cattrall, who's regarded as one of the best sedimentary hosted copper deposit geologists in the world, on the team as well. We've also lined up a company called RES, who's our operational team in country. They pretty much get appointed by Rio Tinto and Anglo to do all their work in Africa. So we couldn't have a stronger, technical and operational team in country.
Just another one popped up. So Cupric Canyon's Zone 5 mineralization, goes almost 1 kilometre deep. Do you expect similar depth extent?
We'll actually this with the current hole that we're doing. So this is to test the vertical, lateral and width size of it all. But there's no reason why it can't go down to 1 kilometre deep.
Another one. So although there are numerous other areas that the company can target, is there an opportunity to further expand the land holding base based on drilling success?
We've got 8,000 square kilometres. We've got more than enough land holding. We've got 500 kilometres of strike. It's like we've got a major position here of the contact, and we own pretty much the majority of the contact all the way throughout the belt.
Another one's just popped up. Sorry. So do you see value in trying to extend the current strike to 5, 6 or 7 kilometres?
Yeah, there's definitely value in that. But the question is, like, how big do you need it? 4 kilometres can hold some of the largest deposits in the Kalahari. But saying that, we are going to extend. So in this infill program, we are looking to put another 500-metre hole to the southwest and to the northeast, which will increase the strike by 5 kilometres. If it remains open, then obviously we'll continue to advance the strike length potential that this deposit has.
Thanks, Marty. Sorry, there's quite a few coming through. So does the company have plans for community engagement?
Yes, definitely. The company is all about stakeholder engagement. We deal with the operational team in country on a daily basis, and we actually have a lot of local people working for the company at present. So yes, it is definitely on our agenda, and also actioned at present.
Wonderful. I might actually just one last question for you. So what are you most excited about?
Well, I think what's really exciting is the sector as a whole is turning around. So copper is a hugely required commodity in this new EV world that we're moving towards. I think exploration should be considered by investors as an ethical investment, because without exploration, there's no new discoveries, and there's no pathway to decarbonisation by 2050. So I think from a personal perspective, I really like that. I also like that this asset itself was found by a person by the name of Terry Bremer, who I had about a 10-year relationship with. He passed away a year and a half ago. He was on the board of Kalahari Metals when he passed away, the company that Cobre now owns. He was involved with 4 major discoveries, such as Jubilee, Cosmos, Western Areas, series with Nova, and also Mod Resources, and organised the takeover with Carl Simich at Sandfire on that. And they're obviously our largest shareholder through Metal Tiger. So having that sort of legacy there as well, knowing that he's been on the ground for 10 years, spoke to him every week for that period, and to now unlock this deposit itself, it's going to be named the Groma deposit after him. But that gives me a lot of excitement personally.
Wonderful. Well, Martin, again, congratulations on the great results. And if we have missed any questions, please feel free to reach out to Martin directly via the contact details on the bottom of their ASX releases. But thanks again for joining us.
Great. Thanks, Jane. Appreciate it.